The book is a history of what I call the workplace constitution, and I use that term to refer to the idea that workers would have constitutional rights on the job and in the union. And the history looks from the New Deal to the New Right at how this idea fared, and it traces it in the context of the civil rights movement and African American workers' efforts to try to use the Constitution to gain access to decent jobs and to unions that were racially exclusive. It traces it in the context of anti-union workers who were trying to use the Constitution to not have to join or support a union. And it tells the interweaving stories of those two sort of conservative and liberal efforts to win a constitutional right in the workplace. And I wrote this book in part because if you talk to lawyers today or you talk to historians today, they would say there really never have been constitutional rights in the workplace for the vast majority of workers. So there is no history of the workplace constitution, essentially. But I think if you talk to most normal, ordinary people, and in fact I did a little study to see if this was true, there's a common sense view that you do have constitutional rights at work. People think they can't be fired because of a protest they went to over the weekend, or a political bumper sticker they put on their car, and so the point of the book is to show actually, workers have fought very hard for constitutional rights in the past. There's much more of a history of a workplace constitution than the experts think there is. But at the same time, that history, I think, gives some context for people, workers today who maybe think they have constitutional rights at work, or maybe finding out maybe they don't have those constitutional rights at work, but would they want those constitutional rights at work? So my hope is that the history both clarifies for people the misperception of the kinds of constitutional rights they currently have, and gives them tools to think about whether those are rights they would want to fight for or not. And I think the history really helps frame that question in terms of thinking about what some of the pros and cons are of using the Constitution to achieve rights in the workplace.